In the wild world of cryptocurrencies, where digital assets rise and fall like villains in a spaghetti western, there's a new player in town. And it's changing the game in ways that would make even the most seasoned Wall Street traders raise an intrigued eyebrow. Picture this: a group of people who have never met, scattered across the globe, each holding a piece of a valuable key. These key pieces, however, aren't made of iron or gold. They're digital tokens, and together they form the whole key to a revolutionary concept in the world of finance and governance: a DAO. In simple terms, a DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, is an alternative to traditional companies or organizations, with their C-level executives, boards of directors, expensive budgets, and never-ending decision processes. A DAO is a digital community with no single leader or boss, a group of people with some common goals and an agreement to follow certain rules, which are encoded in smart contracts on the blockchain. These contracts are self-executing, meaning they automatically enforce the rules without the need for outside control. This clever use of technology creates a trustless and transparent environment where everyone's actions and decisions are visible for all to see. But why were DAOs created? Think of it like this. You're tired of a top-down, centralized system where decisions are made behind closed doors, in smoke-filled boardrooms, or over conference calls, and you have no say in the matter. You want a system that's fair, transparent, and gives a voice to everyone involved. That's precisely why DAOs came into existence. DAOs were created to empower individuals, eliminating the need for middlemen and putting the power back into the hands of the community. They offer a way to make collective decisions, manage assets, and distribute resources without the interference of a central authority. With DAOs, the very essence of democracy and decentralization is brought to life in a digital realm. Traditional organizational structures are characterized by hierarchy of management, strict rules, and a rigid chain of command. In such organizations, employees typically have defined roles and responsibilities, with decision-making power concentrated at the top. Think of an episode of The Office. If the usual company or organization is like The Office, a DAO is more like a Wild West group of smart, tech-savvy rogues who grew tired of living under the rule of corrupt sheriffs, extortionate banks, and a justice system that seemed more interested in serving the interests of the powerful than the common people. They decided to form their own community with their own rules, objectives, management, and even law enforcement, all programmed on a digital ledger called the blockchain. How does that work in practice? Members of the DAO from all corners of the world gather around their digital campfire to share their visions. They propose ideals, just like you might suggest a movie night with friends. But instead of waiting for a show of hands, they cast digital votes through smart contracts. Not all voices, however, carry the same weight. In this community, your influence depends on how much skin you have in the game. In the world of DAOs, this means your voting power is often determined by the number of DAO tokens you hold. These tokens are like your local currency, representing your stake in the community and your right to participate in decisions. When it comes to making choices, most DAOs operate on a simple majority rule. Just like in a friendly gathering, the proposal with the most votes wins. It's a system designed to ensure that the will of the community prevails. So the more tokens you hold, the more weight your vote carries, like having more votes in a traditional election. Let's say a DAO was created to promote the development of local projects. Members put forth proposals like funding a new park or launching a community art project, and others who are equally invested in their virtual town's well-being cast their votes. Now here's where the magic of smart contracts come in. When a proposal gains enough support, it's automatically approved. No waiting for city council meetings or bureaucracy. The funds needed to bring these projects to life are released from the DAO's treasury, and any necessary resources are automatically distributed, all thanks to the beauty of decentralized autonomy. So what would be the main benefits of a DAO? One of the most significant advantages of DAOs is that they are trustless. Every decision, every transaction, every movement of funds is recorded on the blockchain, visible for all to see. It's like having a public ledger of all activities, making it incredibly challenging for any shadiness or to go unnoticed. The trustlessness goes beyond transparency. In traditional systems, you often need to trust intermediaries to oversee transactions and enforce agreements. In DAOs, these intermediaries are replaced by smart contracts, which are self-executing and operate without the need for human intervention. Even if the funding is removed or a major developer goes away, the whole system still functions. Then there's inclusivity. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you know, how much money you have, your voice is welcome in a DAO. This inclusivity extends to decision-making, where every member, whether they hold a few tokens or many, has a say in shaping the future. Another interesting feature of DAOs is the resistance to external interference. Unlike, for instance, traditional companies, where authorities can exercise control, demand access to data, or even shut them down, DAOs operate on tokens. If the government agency, like the FBI, doesn't own enough tokens to win the vote, they have no say. Lastly, efficiency is a big win with DAOs. Centralized systems often involve layers of bureaucracy and intermediaries, causing delays and added costs. DAOs cut through the red tape, automating process through their smart contracts. But is it all sunshine and roses? No, there is a flip side to the DAO coin. One significant concern is the potential for malicious proposals. Just as people come together for good, there can be those who aim to manipulate the system. They might propose ideas that look beneficial on the surface, but are designed to siphon off funds or create chaos. It's essentially a double-edged sword. The same power that empowers the community can also be used to cause harm. Then there's always the issue of code vulnerabilities. The smart contracts that DAOs rely on are only as good as the code written to create them. If there's a flaw or a bug in the code, it can be exploited, potentially leading to significant problems. We'll have a closer look in a minute into the famous The DAO hack. Plus, the reliance on tokens for voting can sometimes lead to centralization by those with more resources, which can run against the very idea of decentralization. DAOs sound exciting in theory, but what could we actually use them for in real life? Crypto enthusiasts from all over the world are using DAOs in all sorts of situations where there is need for decentralized, fast, and democratic organization. Let's take decentralized finance, or DeFi, for example. DAOs created the possibility for a digital bank with no bankers. They help run lending platforms and decentralized exchanges where people can borrow, trade, and lend cryptocurrencies, all without the hassle of dealing with traditional banks. Then there's the realm of arts and entertainment. Here, DAOs let artists, musicians, and creators come together in a digital collective. It's akin to forming a band with friends, except you're making decisions together and sharing the profits without those big record labels calling the shots. And don't forget about decentralized identity. DAOs can be like your digital passport, putting you in control of who gets to see your personal information. Do we have any examples of well-known DAOs? Of course we do. Let's start with the DAO, the original and in some ways the most infamous DAO, because it's a bit of an unfortunate example. Launched on the Ethereum blockchain in 2016, it aimed to fund projects through community voting. However, a vulnerability in its code was exploited, leading to a contentious hard fork that resulted in the birth of Ethereum Classic. Aavegotchi DAO is a fun one. This DAO manages the Aavegotchi NFT game, allowing players to propose changes, vote on them, and guide the development of the game. It's a great example of how DAOs can bring a sense of ownership to the world of digital gaming. Or Aragon. Aragon is a tech stack platform for creating DAOs. It's like a factory that churns out beehives, allowing anyone to start their own DAO for various purposes, from community governance to business operations. In the end, DAOs are a breath of fresh air in the world dominated by centralized control. They're pioneering, slightly roguish heroes, giving people the power to make collective decisions, govern assets, and shape their digital destinies. It's a tale of empowerment, transparency, and community, where everyone gets a say in the grand adventure of the decentralized future.